Shalom, good evening. Welcome to A Faithful Life. My name is Amuna Yisrael, and this is day number 29. If you can't tell, it's like the sun is going down, so I'm just trying to catch that last little bit of natural light. I've been vlogging for those who've been new and sharing my experience in this Proverbs challenge, and it indeed has been an interesting one, learning a lot and relearning a lot. So today I'm reading out of a different version, so it might read a little differently from yours. But it says, whoever stubbornly refuses to accept criticism will be suddenly destroyed beyond recovery. Or another version says, without remedy. And what we've been learning is that's the fool. It's describing the person who doesn't want to hear, is only into their own. I'm rocking. That's why you see me rocking back and forth, because I'm rocking the baby. They don't want to hear anybody's opinion. And because of this, it says the pride will be humbled. And so because of this, more than likely they're doing something they're not supposed to do. And destruction will come upon them. And I pray that's not us, you know. It's always good to hear criticism, feedback. And sometimes even people may come back with some nasty criticism. And that might be coming from a place inside of them that's not so clean. However, we don't let everything into our spirit, but just because they deliver it in a nasty way, once we grow and able to mature and look beyond that, you know, just to see if there's some truth in what they're saying, and then just throw away the rest that, you know, like they used to say, eat the meat and leave the bones. 15 says, to discipline a child produces wisdom, but a mother is disgraced by an undisciplined child. In 2014, we have seen many undisciplined children. I gotta put my hand up to say it is very trying and very challenging to correct children every day. That's where I am. So often you'll hear me talking about children because that's where I am in my life, but it is taxing, and I can see why some parents, I'm not condoning it, but some parents, they just can't be bothered. But for the love of the child and the love of you have to practice patience, because that love is gonna say, I know it's not showing now, but once they get out of the stage, and it is a stage, it's a phase, and once we identify these phases and know that that's what they're gonna do, this is what they do at this phase, and they're gonna grow out of it, and just keep diligent having to. I said I was gonna put a I might go tell y'all, and somebody might go make it. I'm gonna put some kind of app or something where the parent just records their voice with certain commands, like, don't do that. No, I said don't touch that. Go back. Go to the potty. You know, little commands, and anything, you just press the button and it speaks for you so you can save your breath. I'm just saying that's a good idea right there. But you know, it says here, to discipline a child produces wisdom. And it's not just a one slap deal. Didn't I tell you? And it's like literally go through 1 year and come to the next. Every day you have to say, didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you don't touch that? Didn't I tell you don't do that? And you have to, it shows you how the human mind registers stuff. You have to repeat it over and over and over and over until one day, bing, the light goes off and they get it. It says, but a mother is disgraced by an undisciplined child. You ever seen the mother in the story? Because it's kind of like this. Johnny, no. Johnny, get down off of the cash register, honey. No, don't do that. I'm sorry. He acts like that sometimes. She well embarrassed. Johnny not no manners. Johnny say, Mom, I want it now. If you don't give it to me now, that's it, Mom. And Johnny threw himself up on the ground, and the mother sitting there like this. Johnny, please don't do that, honey. This is because Johnny don't get manners at home. Because if Johnny got manners at home, Johnny could never dream for coming out the street and ask her. Here it says, but a mother is disgraced by an undisciplined child. And they do the uncomfortable. Come on, children. True story. The other day I went into the post office. 3 little boys. Running around the post office, acting crazy. And the mother's like, Johnny? And the next one, I forgot his name. And she's like, it's not me, Mom. It's him. And they're running and acting crazy. And I'm looking at her like, are you serious? They need to understand that when you come in the street, you're at attention. You got some kind of behavior. I'm not trying to say my children, you know, they act a little crazy at home, but one thing that everybody says, when they go in the street, they're well behaved. Everybody says these are not the same children. Well behaved. You feed them. I'm going to tell you a secret. Old time people know. They used to feed me before we go outside. And this is why. When you go outside, don't ask for nothing. Do not ask for anything. Why? Because you ate before you left your house. These are the little tidbits that my parents, my mother especially, used to do when we were going out. Do not touch it, because if you break it, you buy it and you not no money. This kind of stuff, when you warn your children, you got to preface them. It's like a meeting. You got to send out a team memo to let them know we about to go on the street. Don't act crazy. Don't start asking for 50 million things. You understand? It doesn't work like that. And the same thing at home. You can't let them go buck wild at home and think they're going to have behavior in the street. If they just ate their dinner and they're asking for icy, suck, candy, chips, no. The answer is no. So when you manage them at home, and you give them a little leeway, not to say that you have them well militant and they can't do anything or they can't. Yes, but it's like you're not going to go buck wild, you know, in people's place. So definitely tell me if we haven't seen the little child screaming in the Walmart or the convenience store. Most likely it's like a store with, you know, toys and stuff. You see the little child drop out or act crazy and roll around on the floor and don't touch me. Madness. Absolute madness. I don't rate it. Parents, let us be more diligent. It doesn't have to do a lot of yelling and screaming. A little bit more of steady application of this right here. Take away the disgrace, the shame out of your face, mommy, because sometimes mommy just gets shamed in the street. It's not right. It's not right. It's not right. Last one, 18. When people do not accept divine guidance, they run wild, but whoever obeys the law is joyful. When people do not accept divine guidance, they run wild. All I gotta say is turn on the news. Look at the news feeds, news clipping, this person doing that, that person doing that. Why? Because from the child, it's connected to me, 15. To discipline a child produces wisdom. From that child was little, he didn't accept divine guidance. Because the most I say, your parents are like Elohim unto you. Your parents are like powers, a power, which some would say gods with a small g. Your parent is an Elohim. They're giving you, or supposed to be giving you, divine guidance. Now, I have seen some clippings. I'm sorry, I'm going to talk about it today. I have seen some clippings where, no, the child and the parent is the same person. Because I have seen where the child is walking up themselves on a dirty wine and the parent is actually sitting there. I'm sorry, I might do the dirty wine and then my thing fall off. The parent is actually sitting there videoing this to say, look how cute little June is. And you know what I'm saying? That's not cute. So, if the parent is disciplining the child when they are young, because you can't bend a tree when it's old. The only thing the tree can do is broke. So when people do not accept divine guidance, even from childhood, this is when we gotta get it in. They run wild, but whoever obeys the law is joyful. So to me, 15 and 18 actually go together, because one is an earlier stage of another. But when we look in the world today, so many people do not want to accept divine guidance. Who says I have to do that? Who says I have to follow the law? And at the end thereof is death. They don't glorify the death part. They glorify the rebellion part. But at the end, they don't glorify that part, because that part is the one that nobody wants to really know what happened to the cool dude who used to smoke cigarettes on the block. Nobody wants to really know what happened to the gangster who used to walk up and down. Nobody wants to know what happened to that gallus youth where when him young, I'm a all of the gal them. But no, when him old, him turn senile, because all like essential juice them gone out and now him head attack him. Nobody wants to really know what happens at the end of the matter. So I think that's interesting. We glorify the action, but we don't glorify the end. But lastly, whoever obeys the law is joyful. The scripture says, those who sow in tears reap in joy. So yes, in the beginning it's gonna look like you're a square, you're a loser, you know what I'm saying? Oh, you don't do anything fun. At the end is when my reward will come. So at that point, I'm gonna say thank you for tuning into A Faithful Life. This is day number 29. The baby is starting to cry, so I got to go. And don't forget to tune in 31st day Proverbs challenge. Is she made or is she born? Proverbs 31 woman. Let's talk about it. Meet us on YouTube live and meet us on Blog Talk. Shalom, shalom, and shalom. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. Subscribe please, and check out the other videos, day 1 through 28. Shalom.